Hi, I'm City Manager Ed Zuercher, and welcome to another edition of Doing What Matters, the show where we talk to Phoenix employees about the important work they do every day. For the last 2 years, I've talked to city employees about the important work they do on the job. But every city employee has a family and a home story to tell as well, and we want to focus on that today, and that's why we're here at U.S. Airways Center. I'm joined by Mike Ornoski, Commercial Team Leader in Planning and Development, and you have been with the city for 11 years. We don't want to spend much time talking about your city work. There's been some interesting things going on, important things going on in your family.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on in your family. You've had some life-changing news with one of your children recently, and that's led to a really interesting story.
Yeah, it really has. So I'm very, as with the city, I'm very cultural with the family as I am with the city of Phoenix. I have a wife and daughter and a son, but back in December, my son noticed a lump on his collarbone. At that point, we realized 2 weeks later that it was Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 3 cancer. So at that point, he was a starting point guard for his high school basketball team. And from there, 2 weeks later, we were admitted to Phoenix Children's Hospital, and from there, we've been doing chemo radiation since early January. So it's been a life-changing event for sure.
Sure. And then some other interesting things have happened with your son Jarrod in that, and the Phoenix Suns got involved, which is why we're here at Airways Center today. Tell us how the Phoenix Suns got involved in your story.
So the Phoenix Suns was pretty dynamite. Going back about 3 years ago, Jarrod and I were just surfing the internet, checking out the Suns. They had this dribble contest, so we put in for it. About a month later,
Basketball.
So taking a basketball and just dribbling a basketball. So about a month later, I get this email say, "Hey, if you can show up to dribble on this date." So we showed up. So there's about 50 of us dribbling, and all of a sudden Jarrod shows up, "Hey Dad, I really want you to win this," because what they told us was you get to fly with the Suns on the Suns plane with the players and get to go to a game. We're like, absolutely. So almost 55 hours later, almost falling asleep, I end up winning the dribble contest.
55 hours of nonstop dribbling. You told me you got 2 minutes of break every 2 hours.
Yep, exactly.
And you did that for 55 hours. You won.
I won.
And did you get to go on the plane?
We did. So the Phoenix Suns reached out to us and they actually let us go to 2 games. So here we thought it was going to be 1 game. They let us fly to Dallas, then to Houston. We spent 3 days with the Suns players on the plane, got to experience everything the Suns players do, and it was just, from taking my son Jarrod, that was just like a life-changing event for us to see the other side of a professional athlete, then to build that relationship.
So let's skip ahead now. You have the news about Jarrod's illness, and the Suns come back in the picture.
They do. The Suns kind of found out about it, and all of a sudden we get this email saying, "Hey, we got this idea. We would like to do something really special for Jarrod because we've done a lot of research and he's a really special kid." So we were really excited to have that. So
that's great. And we have a special guest here with us today. For the first time, we have an outside appearance by someone in Doing What Matters, and Jarrod is actually with us. So we'll ask him to join us and tell us a little bit about what happened, Jarrod, in New York. You were drafted. You were not drafted. You had a contract with the Suns to be on the team to go to New York for the draft lottery. What happened there?
That's right. I was just in school, going to assembly, any other day, and all of a sudden some Suns people were there, and I thought it was just like, okay, cool, Suns people are there. And then they pointed me out, and I didn't know what was going on, and next thing I knew, I was on a plane.
You were on a plane to New York with the Suns, and you helped them draw lucky number 13 for the draft. But something else happened there, I understand. You got to make a friend with someone who's about 7 feet tall. Tell us about your time with Alex Len.
Oh man, Alex Len, he's just such a great guy. You don't get to see this part of him on the TV, but he's actually he just has a whole real great personality, and he'll hang out with you and talk with you and tell you about himself, and he'll play basketball with you, eat lunch with you. He's just like one of your friends that you just don't know. Sure.
Now you and I are about 2 feet shorter than Alex Len, but you have something in common with Alex, I understand, that has to do with an important rite of passage for us in the United States when we turned 16. Alex is not from the United States, so he had to wait a little longer. What did you have in common with Alex in that regard?
I think, aren't we both still getting our license?
I think so. That's what I heard.
It's embarrassing, but we'll both have it soon enough.
So both of you are getting your driver's licenses here in Arizona.
Yes.
You have that in common. Well, that's great. So what's happening now? What's next?
So the good news is Jarrod just started his last portion of chemo. Next Wednesday on the 10th, he'll have his last chemo session. Then we're going to test him on the 23rd, and hopefully at that point there'll be 0 cancer left. And from there we get to go to the Mayo Clinic for radiation until about the middle of August.
And you have an opportunity for people to join you on your team fighting for Jarrod.
Exactly.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So kind of what we decided was, it actually started with our school, Phoenix Christian High School. They actually rallied a team. They actually created T-shirts and a hashtag for Jarrod. And what it did is it kind of unified the school for the common interest to protect Jarrod. And as we've been involved with Phoenix Children, we realized that this affects a lot of families. It's a lot bigger than us. So what we decided with the GoFundMe is to make it more global to impact our local community. So every time we go, we bring like lollipops, we have little gifts and stuff for the kids. So as these kids come in to get treatments, the nurses and doctors, they have these little goodie bags. So we've actually started a ministry. We bring in books and colors, crayons and color books. So we're part of the money that we're raising, we're actually giving back to Phoenix Children. So it's kind of a neat thing to give back. Even like when Jarrod was there, a new kid came in, and it was his first time, and Jarrod kind of realized it, and all of a sudden he's over there talking to kids, kind of laying out what the expectations were. So it's kind of like our new little community that we want to involve with. So.
That's a great story. Jarrod Ornoski, thanks for joining us. Mike Ornoski,
Thank you.
thanks for what you're doing. Thank you both for reminding us about what truly matters at the City of Phoenix.
Absolutely. Thank you.
If you'd like to learn more about this great story of Mike and Jarrod and their whole family and Team Jarrod, go to the website on your screen. For Doing What Matters, I'm City Manager Ed Zuercher.